Mitchell, I'm not singing this in.
What are you going to say about Messenbrink singing?
I'm not singing this in. We're going to have Mesenbrink sing us in today, but he had other gigs going on.
And with that, we are live, bashing the brain. We're back for another weekend preview, episode 369, and it's a big one, Willie. We have such a great weekend ahead.
We do. Okie State, Virginia Tech, with some speculation there. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Iowa. Is there an unforeseen upset brewing there? Some other really great matches.
I'm not even sure it's unforeseen. Michigan's the 1.5 point favorites. We'll dive into that one shortly.
What I'm saying is, when we were talking about Iowa's tough schedule and the tough outs, when I say unforeseen, I don't think we were talking about the possibility of Iowa losing to Michigan like 2 months ago.
Sure.
But now we kind of are. And I tend to think Iowa's a better team, certainly a better team than Michigan, but the way the lineups stack up and certain personnel being out makes it a possibility. There's still some ongoing stuff with Jackson, who's going to be toe the line for 133 for Oklahoma State, and it was put out that Jax might be going to we covered this on the last show, but Jax might be going to an open, might not be in the lineup for Okie State. Is it still undecided if he's going to use his year or stay in redshirt? And I was told a couple days ago that the probables that were sent to Virginia Tech was Ronnie Ramirez and Jax Forrest. Now, that could be gamesmanship. That could be just playing around. I thought it was pretty funny. Oklahoma State they tweeted about the duel with Virginia Tech, and somebody responded to them and said, "You want to tell us who's going 133?" And they said, "Nah."
They said, "LOL, nah."
So they're very aware. They're very aware of what the temperature is. They're aware of the buzz and the social media, and it's funny they're playing into it. But it does leave us guessing. But another year Bash does not get a press credential, and it's so stupid. I mean, we went over this last year, and if you're unaware, I guess the NCAA has instituted a new policy where they don't
credential podcasters, and they don't credential content creators. So if you're primarily just social media driven, they ain't going to credential you. If you're a podcast, they ain't going to credential you. If you have a YouTube channel, they ain't going to credential you. So,
talk about an out like wrestling gets its, and I know this isn't a wrestling thing, but it's wrestling-esque in that they stay old. They stay outdated. I mean, most of the world today is not newspapers, and I respect the hell out of newspaper. I enjoy it and appreciate and understand the value of newspapers and local journalism being a strong advocate when they cover the sport of wrestling. There's nothing like it. But on the other hand, you have to understand that the world has changed. A lot of these people doing the best content week in, week out are not hard copy guys. And, I understand them policing the NCAA credential thing because too many jerk-offs and too many guys that did one podcast or tweeted one time apply for a credential. I get that.
100%.
There's still and there's also on the other side where it's like, there's limited press seats, and they really have lowered the number of press seats in the arena on the floor. That the number available has really shrunk. I mean, there was one year that three people got an arena press seat. USA Wrestling got one, Intermat got one, and Flow Wrestling got one. And now that was very extreme, that case, but even last year, the number of press seats in the arena were much lower. So I get
but they're
that they have
also
to limit that, but there's also a gazillion seats in the back, in the bowels of the arena, and so there's no excuse. Oh, we need to limit from the top. I mean, for the love of God, Sion gets a press credential, a press pass. I mean, that dude never created a piece of content in his life, and so and I'm not picking on Sion. I love Sion, but there's a bunch of examples.
Sion. Well, my thing too is like number one, and then we'll get to wrestling talk soon. But we were talking about this yesterday. You also have a situation where like a lot of times, so like press row is very limited, and I agree it should be. But then you have like in the rafters of the arena, you have like unlimited press seating basically, and a lot of times the smaller content creators are there. But what typically happens is, let's say Drexel gets two guys into NCAAs and they don't make it to day two. The media that was supposed to go cover Drexel doesn't go day two, doesn't go day three. So day one, you have a lot of anybody with, let's say they have one person there, they're there. And then all of a sudden Friday, Saturday, it starts to dwindle down. And, it's not just about me. Like I had a couple coaches reach out and be like, if you really want to get there, maybe we'll just get you in under our team. And I'm like, it's more so for me that there's other content creators too that I think should be there. Like if Zach Seiko wants to go and create Penn State content, let him. David Carr wants to do behind the scenes stuff for Iowa State, let him. Wrestlers Grind creates content every single day, 365 days a year, has a huge audience. Let him go. Let him continue to cover the sport. So It's more than about me. My big qualm with it is it's black and white. If I can't bring a laptop into the arena, I can't do what I do, and it's not worth going. So put me in the hallway. I don't care. I just need a laptop. I'll sit anywhere. But when people say why do you got hold on? When people say like, why do you got to be there? That's the number one thing for me. Is if I can't have my laptop, it just makes no sense to go. None.
Yeah, and you can't get your laptop in just as a fan. I don't let you bring it. But I just look at it, and I just look at it as the new way that media is done. I mean, 100%. You got to adapt to that. Like, and Adam Schefter doesn't write a bunch of articles. He makes his content doing podcasts and tweets, and he doesn't write a bunch of articles, and he doesn't use a bunch of quotes. He uses networking and talking to people on the phone. And so I don't know their definition. Their definition of like what you have to do and your journalistic process and products is what? Like you have to get a quote from somebody. So you don't have to be working at the NCAA tournament unless you are getting a quote. Because what's your definition elsewhere otherwise? And if you want how many journalists, how many wrestling journalists in the country go to multiple college events? Me, Intermat, Flow. Does anybody else? Does anybody else go to national duels, CKLV, this conference, that conference? No. So you take those three out. Okay, those guys are a given. And what do you have left? Why don't you start with the guys that provide coverage the whole year long, all year long, and nationwide.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't get it. Hopefully they change it and come to their senses at some point, because I think they're leaving. I think they're leaving good guys out and leaving some good content on the. I mean, look. Here's a behind the scenes a little bit, but Justin and I were going to be part of FanFest this year, and we were going to go live from NCAA FanFest for 3-ish sessions. I don't know if we're doing that anymore. Justin cannot work. He cannot work from the arena. So why go? What's he going to do? Twiddle his thumbs? So, I mean, there's a case in point where we're trying to help somebody who's doing something big for the fans and make it a better immersive experience. And now we don't know if we're doing it because the powers that be are old school, old fashioned.
It is irony when you're being asked like, hey, we really want you guys to go live and do episodes from here, but by the way, they're not gonna like.
Yeah. Hey, the official the Fan Fest wants you because you have a good product and people like your discourse. Oh yeah. Also, the NCAA said no.
Yeah, it's silly.
And don't ask.
But I do like. I didn't really tweet much about it yesterday. I just said at least they're consistent, and there was a lot of people that like vocalize support. Like you guys absolutely should be there. So I appreciate that. Willie does go. Willie goes because he owns Intermat. Intermat gets. That's the other thing. Like Willie,
I saw people talking about that too. Like, does Willie really need one? First of all, I put out beyond this. I put out wrestling content, college Division I wrestling content all year long. Whether it's Crystal Ball or Freshman to Watch or the Red Shirt Report or occasionally one-off articles, upsets of the week, whatever I might do. I do college wrestling content 12 months a year, and so that's like, yeah, I do deserve one. So I don't even know what you guys are talking about. And two, again, give me a list of the guys that covered the sport nationally, because there ain't many of it. There's like, name a journalist that went to a duel in more than one location to cover more than one team. National duels, Nebraska, Penn State. There's not many. I went to a bunch this year. Covered Pac-12s last year.
Taylor Venus says Willie should.
There ain't too many national media, so I like anybody pushing it on me. If I should get a credential, kick rocks.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We're probably boring people. Real quick before we talk college wrestling, do you want to talk freestyle for like 2 minutes? Because just a couple of quick minor nuggets. Final X that announced yesterday alongside Beat the Streets, June 19th, back in Newark at the Credential Center. Same as last year, at the Credential Center, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. sessions, only men's and women's freestyle.
On a Friday, right?
Yeah, on a Friday, which is a little odd. Why not do it on Saturday? But I don't know if there's conflicting events that are there. So that was announced yesterday, and just as a
concert on a Saturday.
As a refresher on who can automatically go to Final X, Real Woods at 65, Levi at 79, Zahid at 86, Trent at 92, and Snyder at 97. Other 5 weights are wide open. Winner of the Open will go. And then on the women's side, Helen, Kennedy, and Kylie will all sit out. That was one. The other little nugget I'm going to put up on the screen here. The next ranking series, which is 2 weeks away, entries came out yesterday. Some interesting ones. Again, they're on screen if you want to go through them, but a couple quick, interesting ones. Vito is back, and he's up at 65 kilos. So good to see Vito back, and interesting to see what he's going to do at 65. And, I mean, we're also sending Joey McKenna and Real Woods there, so it'll be interesting to see if we get some USA versus USA matches and see where Vito stacks up at 65. Kyle Dake making his international debut up at 86 kilos. He wrestled some RAF matches. He wrestled Open and World Team Trials last year, but this is his first time going overseas at 86 kilos. So this ranking series is going to be absolutely loaded. we're sending a lot of good guys. Some guys too, like I know they're the big one. Honestly, people wanted to see that. Why weren't they there? Was Buchanan, but Buchanan's on that RAF card in 2 weeks. I believe it's in Arizona, so that's why Buchanan's not there. But it's going to be a good event.
And he just went to a rankings tournament, right?
Well, so did Spencer, but Spencer's running it back.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. It's
No,
not
100%.
You don't see people do that too often. Yeah, it's really interesting to see Vito up at 145. He had quite the pull when he tried to get down to 25, and he went back up to 33, and that's when he really excelled. But then he had the injury, and not just any injury. It was neck and back, and so that's really interesting. And now he's up a way, so it's great to have him back. I'm really interested to see exactly what he is, and in a field, it'll be a good field, and also in that field will be our rep and a returning world medalist in Real Wood. So very good barometer of where Vito's at. Right
and by the way, when it was announced that Vito's going, people have been asking where Yanni is. He was just a little banged up. I think he'll be back soon. It does kind of, you got to believe that this means Yanni's going up to 74 for 2028. Given that, once he went to 70, I think that was the last time we ever saw 65 kilo Yanni. But with Vito going up to 65, I think that only solidifies that both of them are just like, that cut's not worth it. Vito to 57, Yanni to 65. I mean, we're 2 years out from the Olympic trials. So these guys are going to start, gravitating towards Olympic weights. And I think we're going to start seeing more and more guys going up versus down.
I was thinking last night, and not very, I didn't think about it very long or very in depth or look it up or anything. And so people in the chat might have things come to the top of their head quicker than I did. But there's not a whole lot that I can recall of success going up until you get to maybe like 86 to 97. Who has had success going from 57 to 65, from 65 to 74, from maybe 74 to 86 with like
David Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah. But it seems like those examples are few and far between, especially at the lightweights.
Yeah, no, it's definitely harder going up, but also it's harder if you're going down and cutting just for a shot. Like, I think James Green's one of the most glaring examples where it's like he was so consistent at 70 for so long, and any time he tried going down to 65, it was just over. It's like those guys that are stuck in the Olympic weights.
And James was sort of an extreme example because he was a true tweener. Like he was really good. He was really good at 70. Really good. Like perennial threat, made the team every year, medaled 3 times, and maybe wrestled for a medal another time or two. But when he would go down, not good. When he would go up, good, but not that same level. So he was a true tweener. I don't know. Okay. You want to get into it? Want to get into the weekend? That's a big weekend. Last weekend was
Last week was a dud. Let's be honest. It was a bit of a dud overall. You had some good highlights, but it was kind of a dud. And this weekend, which, by the way, it's absolutely crazy that we're at the point in the season where some teams are going to start wrestling their final duels this weekend. Ohio State being one of them. Ohio State has duels Friday. Penn State is it Purdue on Sunday? I'm drawing a blank on who's Sunday. But then they don't wrestle until Big Tens. Like, it's that time of the year where, some teams duel next week. Some only have one this week, one next week. But it's that time of year where it's like Ohio State's done this weekend until the postseason. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like chomping at the bit, to be honest, to do another batch of Crystal Ball, but I think it makes the most sense to finish it up. Um,
Yeah,
just do.
you gotta wait till Oklahoma State Iowa ends, and then February 23rd, final crystal ball heading into the postseason. Let's see where Willie lands. You should also maybe do a crystal ball like from the preseason. Compare your final regular season crystal ball to the
I know.
preseason. That'd be fun.
I know. You know what? I think I messed up though. I think I have the Crystal Ball team totals from preseason, but I think I forgot to save the individual ones. I typically
Well,
do
if
that.
did we screenshot them for the show? Because if we
I don't
screenshot them
know.
in the show, we might have them there. Listen, when
Yeah.
I take over Intermat, just so I can get a press credential, when Bash buys Intermat, I'm going to move Crystal Ball to Intermat, and I'm going to do little green and red arrows, so that when you move a guy up, it shows a green arrow. When you
Yeah.
move a guy down, it shows a red arrow.
Hmm.
It's going to cost me a lot of money just to make David Lenz not be able to say no to me. All right, which duel do you want?
That's why the price keeps going up.
Which
Um,
which duel would you like to start with?
let's start. I don't even know. I don't even know the order of these really.
Well, let's
When
check
is
my
when is
future. Let's check my
when
future
is
websites. Intermat.
Michigan, Iowa is Friday at 9.
So
Ohio State, Penn State.
Yeah, Ohio State, Penn State is at 7 Eastern, and Michigan,
All right,
Iowa is at 9 Eastern. So you want to start with the big one?
let's start with Ohio. Let's start with Ohio State, Penn State.
All right, so Ohio State, Penn State. It's the big one. It's number one versus number two. But man, I saw a couple people were tweeting me the betting lines yesterday. Iowa being a 1.5 point underdog to Michigan, and Penn State 18.5 point favorites over Ohio State. And initially, I'm like, listen, I don't care what fan you are, what program, Ohio State plus 18.5, that almost seems too easy. And then you start going through the duel, and especially with no Brandon Cannon, you're like, there's a path here where, the lightweights are the big storyline of this duel. You have a 1 versus 2 at 125. You have a 2 versus 4 that could be a 1 versus 2 at 133. You have Jesse Mendez, maybe if not the Hodge front runner, number 2. Him and Messenbring. So, but it's interesting because let's say from a betting perspective, you got Ohio State either with 18.5 or Penn State giving up 18.5. I feel like the story is going to be told after the lightweights. If Ohio State sweeps those lightweights, they cover. If Penn State sweeps 2 of the 3 of those lightweights, they likely cover. So we'll go through it match by match, but from both a most interesting aspect of this duel, from a betting aspect, from any aspect, the lightweights, and I assume both these guys are going to want to start, especially Cal.
18 and a
They're,
half. 18 and a half is wild for a duel between 1 and 2.
it is, and that just goes to show, number one, how dominant Penn State is, and number two, having an injury with Brandon Cannon not there. Brandon Cannon's number one guy in the country. There's only Ohio State only has 1, 2, 3 guys ranked higher than Penn State. Cannon would have been 4, so it shifts it, pretty drastically. But let's go through it. Let's start with where I think they're going to start the duel, 125. Especially if you're Cal, you want Buzakis right off the scale. You don't want to start this duel anywhere but 25, and you're going to start with the main event, in my opinion. Luke Lillidahl versus Nick Buzakis. Both have had incredibly impressive seasons. I believe both have only lost to teammates, right? Buzakis, I don't think, has lost to anybody other than McCrone, and Lillidahl lost to Desmond, I believe, earlier in the season.
Who did he lose to?
Was it Desmond?
No, Buzakis.
McCrone.
Good job, bud.
No,
You said it right.
McCronin. Sorry.
There's no W in Macron.
McCronin. Sorry. So
And-
both
and,
both only lost to teammates, and they've looked awesome.
Super early. I think Buzakis lost to Macron was like one of the earliest weekends of the year, and Lillidahl Desmond was pretty early as well.
So that was that Black Knight invite for the Desmond Lillidahl match, and then the Buzakis match was, I believe, like the Clarion Open. So that was, first weekend of November.
Yeah, I got Lillidahl here. I think that I think Buzakis and this for Nick, it could be the match that puts him over the top as a pick. Now, you're going to say, no kidding, Willie, it's 2 versus 1. But I don't mean just in that manner. I mean that Lillidahl is going to make him wrestle 7 minutes. And
Yeah.
I don't think that Buzakis has this track record this year of opening up big stuff early.
Yep.
And if that doesn't happen, and I don't think it's going to happen here, then the match becomes markedly different. If Lillidahl can either not give up something big, or if he can win the first period, or even come out of it trailing 3-1, I think that's a big win for Lillidahl.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to make him wrestle 7 minutes, and we've talked about this before. 125 is my favorite weight class. It always has been. It always will be. But these guys do not force the issue and push the pace enough. I think Lillidahl will do that, number one, because I think he does that. And number two, because I think that'll be part of the game plan. Like, hey, listen, you got to make this kid feel it in the third. And so I think that some way, somehow, I think Luke wins it. I think Luke wins this. I think he weathers a storm early, prevents giving up anything big, and gets it in the third. Now, there is a thing where Buzakis has let off the gas or hasn't had that much gas in the third in a couple matches. He got up 7-0 against Dean and won 9-6 or something like that, right? So
9-5, yeah.
Right, so Dean won after the 7-0 start. Dean sort of did okay. There is the thing where Buzakis didn't have to, so who cares? And I get that. But this to me will prove that. And let's just say this. Let's say that Buzakis doesn't score big, but he gets a takedown in the third, and he wins it in the third. Now that, to me, the narrative changes. Buzakis is not just an early home run hitter. He has 7-minute lungs. He can win a squeaker. He can win late. And the reason that's important, and I'm saying that it changes how I look at it, not just because it's number one versus number two, but there very well could be a round of 16 or a quarterfinal match where things don't go his way at NCAAs, but he has to find a way to win in the third. That could very well happen. It could be Nikolai Rivera. It could be Jory Volk. It could be anybody. If he just doesn't happen to get a big move early, I think this could be a spot where he proves everybody, or at least changes the thinking and says he can dig deep and get one in the third. So this match to me says a lot.
It does, and I think too, like you said, like the past month, Luke has really come into his own with his offense. I mean, he's put up. You go through kind of what he's been doing, and I know you sometimes will poo-poo on teching opponents, but when in a weight where you want to see people go and get after it, Luke doesn't have to necessarily do that, and he's putting up 20 points, 19, 20, 21, and a pin in his last 5 matches. And also, like, if I'm an Ohio State fan, one question mark I'd have about Buzakis, apart from the weight, because that's obviously been it's no secret they've been kind of weight management / load managing him throughout the year, but he's only got 11 matches, I believe. He's 11-0. So where is his gas tank at this point in the season? And now when you start having the upper echelon of guys like Lillard, like you're going to have Big Tens, where's Buzakis' gas tank, like you're kind of saying, to go 7 minutes? So
yeah, and that's a good point about what time of the season it is, too, for a cutter. Because it could be the case that, and this is always the case, where a guy that's cutting pretty heavy, maybe after doing it for 3-4 months, he's now at a point where it's manageable. The cut's a little easier. He's been down for a while, and so it doesn't take the effect. He's optimized, right? He's where he needs to be, and that could be a advantage for him.
Fellers and the captain, you might see a surprise appearance by Fellers or the captain. Both have been open and invited if they have comments on this duel, by the way. So if somebody pops in chat, that's what. Go ahead, Will.
It also could be the case where, and it happens often, where the pull over the course of the season gets to be a drag, a drain, and they're a little bit more drained. So could go one way or the other. Ultimately, I'm taking Luke here, and maybe late. So it's certainly a winnable match for Ohio State and Buzakis, and it's one that they really need to have. You know, if Buzakis comes out and gets this win, 18.5, I don't care. Now it's a thing. Now,
100%.
Because Ohio State needs to win the matches they have a chance in for this to be a duel.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid, but you know, you're going to start off with one of their hopefuls losing. It's sort of a bummer for the duel.
Yep.
133. It's on paper, it's number 2 versus number 4, but it very well could be the top 2 guys in the country at 133 pounds. Ben DeVino, Marcus Blaze, both of them are freshmen. Both of them are undefeated. Common opponent has been national runner-up Drake Ayala, who DeVino beat twice. One, I believe, 10-4. The other one was a 1 takedown match. 4-2, I believe, and Marcus beat Drake also in a 1 takedown match.
Yeah.
And DeVino is a little jitterbug, very high energy, very high output. I'm going to score a lot of points. The match against Ayala was really kind of an outlier where DeVino didn't score a whole heck of a lot of points. And Blaze is the other way. Blaze is very sound fundamentally. He does not give up takedowns like ever. So, has he given up a takedown this year, Blaze? Yeah.
I don't think so.
But you know, so that's the point. He doesn't give up a whole lot of scores. And again, the part of me rooting for a really interesting duel would not be disappointed to see Buzakis or DeVino win, but I just think Marcus takes it. I think Marcus wins it. I think it comes down to Marcus counters. That's what I think it's.
I really this match to me is feeling like a overtime match where the kid wrestling at home gets the win. And I think, given that this is at the Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State, I do think this is going to be a low-scoring match. I think these guys have a lot of respect for each other. And I know I took some heat with the Oklahoma State-Iowa State duel, me saying it wasn't that exciting. And, like, I said this right after. There can still be exciting 4-1 matches. I thought the Echemendia-Vega match, 4-1, was very exciting. I think this could be one of those matches where it's 4-1, and one of the guys gets a takedown in overtime, and I very well believe that's going to be Blaze. This is like, you know, we previewed it kind of in the last show that we said, like, it might be Jax Forrest versus Aaron Seidel this weekend. And you have these two going at it, and it's like, man, we're finally now going to start getting those upper echelon guys at 33 wrestling each other. All these great freshmen. I mean, you've got, 4 guys undefeated right now at 33? Bird's undefeated. Davino's undefeated. Blaze undefeated. Seidel's undefeated. Like, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. I think Blaze gets the win, and I do think being at home, it's gonna be advantage Blaze.
Okay, so 2 matches to 0 after 33. Then we get to 141.
One other comment I'll say too. I do think that coming off the 25, whatever happens there is going to be huge for this match. Either guy who wins at 25 gives some momentum to their team. If Lilidal beats Bouzakis, I feel like that gives Blaze some momentum. If Bouzakis knocks off Lilidal, that's also going to rally up Davino, like, let's go and do this thing. Now it's my turn. So it's going to be great watching those matchups back to back.
Yeah, and then you get number 1, Jesse Mendez, who I'm sure he's up for anything. But if Ohio State would win the first 2, you talk about that, then he's really going to be fired up.
Yeah.
Because he knows his senior year on the road against Penn State, now they have a shot. And I think, this is pretty easy to handicap. You take Mendez here. He's the number 1 guy in the country, 2-time returning national champ, and just lighting up the scoreboard this year. Really clearly a Hodge contender. And you take Mendez here. Do you take Bonus? Now, Davis came out and looked great for a period and a half against Hardy. Scored within the first 10 seconds and looked good. But Mendez is a different animal. And, with 3-point takedowns. And
I think it's going to be close until the end. And then I think Braden Davis has started these matches off really hot. The Brock Hardy match being the best example. But Mendez has proven that he might be as good as anybody in college right now at closing out matches and getting bonus late. So if this was a close-ish match heading into the third period and Mendez gets, the major 8-9 points right on the edge, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. The only non-decision matches Mendez has this year is that 4-1 win over Brock Hardy and the 5-1 win over Echemendia. Everything else has been bonus next topic, tech. So I really think...
And Davis, to me, Davis isn't a guy that goes out there... I mean, he has some low-scoring matches, but he doesn't go out there, as you saw in Hardy, he goes out there to win the match. He's not going to play patty cake, and that, to me, it almost lends itself for a little bit of opportunity for Mendez. So I got 6-4 after 3. We go to 149. Ethan Stiles, returning All-American, against number 1 Shane Van Ness. I think this is a winnable match for Ohio State. On paper, I don't think it would be shock at all if Ethan Stiles would pull an upset, but
it does to me.
Stiles has lost 3 times this year. Van Ness is undefeated. I think Van Ness is a pick.
Yeah, Van Ness is very clearly the pick for me here. And I know Penn State haters are probably like, well, no crap. But so Stiles has 4 losses on the year. But more importantly than that, his last 3 matches, he had that 3-3 overtime match with Lamer, which he won and got the takedown. Then he lost to Zargo 7-4. Then he had that overtime match with Ryder, and he won that one in overtime 4-1. So I just think that Stiles seems to be like slowing down a bit. Awesome to get those 2, the Lamer and Ryder wins in OT. But you're talking Ryder and Lamer. And Van Ness is a guy who gave up a 7-point move a couple weeks ago. Hold on. Gave up a 7-point move a couple weeks ago and then scored, 30 straight? So I just think that Van Ness is pulling away from people and just I don't think this is even going to be close. I really don't.
Yeah, it might not be. I don't think you can rattle off resumes and results all you want. I just think that in a 7-minute match and at any given day, certain number sixes can beat number ones, and
100%. I don't think this is going to be
even
one.
if they're not as
Yeah.
good. So by all, I'm giving Styles some respect there. I think that Van Ness is clearly the pick. I just don't think it's shock and awe if Styles wins.
Styles has struggled with all of his top 10 opponents this year. That to me is like between the fading a little bit. I mean, if you look at his losses, it was to Caleb Tyus, it was to Jackson Joy, it was to Coy Biskins, it was to Zargo, who's not. I don't think Zargo is like top 15, not top 10, but he struggled with those top 10-ish guys. So that's, yeah, I think Van Ness wins it easy.
So that's 3 or 4 matches. Let's call it. And on the flip side, Van Ness could pull away, especially if Styles' tank isn't there. That Van Ness is a guy that third period, he's wild. He don't stop moving. So, if you could see an outside shot at a major there too.
100%.
So let's just call it 9-4 after 49. 157 will not be Brandon Cannon. Somebody DM me that Tom Ryan said even in a press conference or a post match interview or something that Cannon won't be back till.
Well, they listed their probables and he wasn't in there, so
Right.
he's not going to be here till Big Tens.
Right. So it will be Landon DeSalle or Daxton Chase against PJ Duke, and you expect bonus out of PJ Duke here. So that would be, it's crazy because on paper, like, I mean, Ohio State's whole lineup's awesome, but on paper, like, you go Buzakis, Davino, Mendez, and
even Styles, like having all these guys in the top 10 and in the top 5, and it's still.
Yeah, and that's like supposed to be Ohio State's strength, and we have it 4-1 after 5. And then you have 165 where it's another Hodge contender, and Patty's really solid. Ethan Burden's a really good freshman, but it's the number 1 guy in the country, and you expect Mitchell Mesenbrink to bonus here. And yeah, I don't think there's much to argue about in that. 174, Karchla has proven he can wrestle Levi tough, but the pick is Levi.
Mm-hmm.
I think this similar situation at 84. Fishback, number 8 in the country, has some really good wins this year, has always been on the bubble of maybe All-American status, and Rocco Welsh is the number 1 guy. You pick him.
Yeah, and Fishback and Rocco, I mean, if you look at just the tail over the last couple of weeks, you have Fishback with these close overtime matches, and you have Rocco. Like, we've been wanting the guys at 84 to open up, and Rocco has been doing that. Rocco's been getting to his offense. He's been, he had that 8-1 win over Mantanona last week. He majored Allred the week before. Like, Rocco's kind of coming into his own here, and at the same time, Fishback has had a couple, he's lost like 3 out of his last 5. So, we'll see what Fishback can do because he is like fringe AA. But, he wrestled like the 3, 7, and 8, something like that he lost 3 out of the last 5. So, again, this is just where it's like it's been the theme all year where some of these teams that have incredible lineups just don't match up well against Penn State. Look at 65, 74, 84, 97. Penn State's the number 1 guy in the country. Doesn't matter if you have the 5, 8, and 10 going against them. It's tough.
Yeah. And then Giog having a good year, but he's with Barr, who is certainly the pick there. And maybe by bonus, Barr's been putting up a lot of points. And then Feldman and Marisola. And I think Marisola has a real shot here. But Feldman, I would imagine everybody's picking Feldman, knowing that Marisola would be a tough out for him and has a shot, but I think the pick's Feldman, right?
Yeah, I think Feldman in like a one takedown match. I think, while I think it's going to be a one takedown match, it's just Cole has been a little undersized and has had a tough time finishing some of these takedowns. He gets in, but it's just, man, could Cole knock him off? Absolutely. I do think it's going to be like a one takedown match. I think Cole has solid defense. I don't think he's going to lose this match like 8-2. But, a 4-1, 5-2 match is likely where it's going to end up. And just we've seen Cole kind of struggle with those bigger guys to finish those takedowns.
Look at that stat by Cornell Kevin. The top 8 wrestlers at 184 have a combined 21 4-1 sudden victory matches.
That's crazy.
It's not even bad that we say, like, just start an OT. It's like, that is the truth.
So we've got this kind of the same, and we've got it 29-7.
Yeah, and we got it 8-2.
Which is so you see Ohio State plus 18.5, and you think, hammer that. But then you go through it, and it's like, now the flip side is that's with Penn State getting both 25 and 33. If those matches flop, it could very easily be 23-13.
And so, we often say that, okay, we'll take it 8-2 Penn State, or the over under. It looks like Penn State could have 8 national finalists, but realistically, stuff happens. 1 or 2 might give us 6 or something like that, right? And so we have an 8-2 here, and Ohio State could pick up one of the toss-ups. From a standpoint of having a fun duel, I hope if they pick off one of the toss-ups, I hope it's early, just to add that intrigue, keep the duel in balance.
100%. And I think this is one of those duels where, even if the duel isn't in contention, it's one of those duels. I forgot which one we had like a month or so ago. That's like, even without it being in contention, you do have so many good matches you still want to see. Like matches like Levi and Carson. Even if Penn State's ran away with it, you still want to see matches like that. You still want to.
Yeah, even if it's 20-7. I mean, you got to watch Marisola Feldman. It's a great match.
So with the exception of maybe 57, where Duke wrestles a backup, the rest of these matches you want to watch. So it should be good.
That's Friday at 7. Friday at 8, we won't run through the whole thing, but Friday at 8, Michigan, Iowa's at 9. Friday at 8, there's another good one. Illinois, Nebraska. It's a sneaky good duel.
Yep.
Spencer Moore against Lauritsen. I think it's going to be Lauritsen now. They started off in a platoon, and they sort of went Kaler. Now I think it's back to Lauritsen. But 125 Moore, Lauritsen. 133 Bird Van D.
We got Willie. We got somebody with a Husker hat in the stream.
Who we got? Oh, we got Husker fellers. Hey, Adam, what's up, buddy? Where's your kid going to college?
Does fellers have no audio?
He has no audio. He's trying to be quiet because he's at a tree stand.
He's got no audio. All right, fix your audio, fellers, and get back.
And also shaved. But Illinois could take the first 2 for sure. Pacino, Hardy, Joffrey, Lamer. I mean, I don't think that matchup's out of question. Webster, Antrell.
That's going to be a good one. Yep.
Huge matchup. I mean, for Antrell, that could, if he wins, he's probably 2. Outside shot at 1. And I'm talking about seeds for the Big Tens. If he wins, he's the 1 or 2. If he loses, he could drop all the way to the 4 or 5. Skolza, Raju. These guys are ranked back to back in the country, like 6, 7, 7, 8, something like that. Big match up there. Colin Kelly, Minto, Chris Moore, who's been wrestling really well against Allred, and Allred's one of those guys that he can beat number 3 in the country. He could lose to number 15. He does that crap all the time.
Darren Youngblood in the chat says Fellers is better without audio.
Darren Youngblood's my homeboy. Dylan Connell, McDaniel, Luffman, Ferrari. It's a really good duel.
It's gonna be a good duel. It's one of those Fridays you want to have it on. You gotta have multiple screens set up going. Willie, the chat wants to know, why do we not have any Poeta news yet?
Friday. There's a meeting on Friday. Now, what leaks out after that? I don't know. Does the school make a statement? Is it a final decision? All I know is that multiple sources I've talked to, who've been right on this stuff every step of the way, and again, multiple sources have said that Poeta and the AD are meeting Friday. I don't know. Do they come out and say Poeta is reinstated? Poeta is fired?
You think there'll be a definitive action on Friday?
No, yeah. I have no earthly idea if it's definitive. I have no earthly idea if they make a statement or if we hear trickle down through the grapevine. I don't know. All I know is that there is a meeting Friday.
Got
it. So yeah, Nebraska, Illinois, interesting duel. Very interesting 3-4 individual matchups. That's in the middle between Ohio State and Michigan, Iowa. And let's get to Michigan, Iowa. Number 11, Michigan, a little bit quieter this year. Very solid lineup. A couple other key pieces and key transfers. Maybe not doing as great as we might have thought, but like Tay took an early loss or two. He's coming back around. Big win over Feldman. Lachlan McNeil, he got majored by Larkin earlier in the year when frankly we didn't know exactly what Larkin was, but now we know he's legit. Maybe Lachlan's coming back around. Ragatson returning from injury. So Michigan kind of like sitting back in the cut for a while, and in conjunction with Iowa having some lineup flux, a couple guys out, this is a thing. Starting off at 125, number 22.
By the way, when the line came out yesterday, Iowa was a 1.5 point underdog, and I'm like, this. I tweeted, I'm like, this seems too easy. Eyeball test. Then this morning, I'm doing my picks, and I'm like, I actually think I might have Michigan winning the duel. I'm like, but again, I saw 1.5, Iowa getting 1.5. I'm like, I kind of like that. But then I go through and I make my picks at each weight with the current lineups, and it's like, ooh, once you look at both probables, I'm like, I kind of like Michigan.
Yeah. I always say, like, Iowa is Iowa, and they're big headliners. You talk about them every week, and I've been talking about them every week for 15, 20 years. And whenever there is a chance for Iowa to lose, everybody talks about it. Oh, this is a rare team. This is a rare chance for Iowa to lose. How will it go? Well, like most years, 9 times out of 10, Iowa gets the job done. This year, in certain duels, like, you know how many years it's like, oh, can Iowa State knock off Iowa? And nope, Iowa just always gets it done. Well, they didn't this year. I feel like maybe I'm dumb, but I feel like that's what we're getting back to with this one. I feel like on paper, Michigan, oh, this is a scary duel for Iowa. I feel like Iowa somehow gets it done.
Well, look at the matchups, because I think Michigan gets it done.
Very, very well could. But that's what I'm saying between the difference between on
what
paper.
Are you saying?
The difference between on paper and what actually happened. And Iowa has a track record, maybe not so much this year, but of winning matches you didn't think they'd win, and thus winning the duel. Yeah, on paper it looks 5-5-ish or even 6-4-ish. So yeah, Sotelo, Peterson, you take Peterson all day long. Peterson has some losses, but they're all the top guys, much higher ranked than Diego Sotelo. 133, true freshman Gage Botero against Drake. 100% take Drake, maybe with a little bonus.
Maybe.
Right? Are we in agreement with those?
I think Drake bonuses him, yeah. I think Drake gets a major there.
141, I don't care who this is, Ragusin versus Peterson or Nasir.
Nasir's not even in the probable, so it looks like it's Peterson.
I don't. This is toss-up to me.
It could be a toss-up. I lean Ragusin, just I think experience, and he's starting to really come into his own. I like Ragusin here.
Felter's facts?
Yeah, guy.
Who you got in this one? Ragusin, Cale Peterson.
Toss-up.
Right? It is.
I
mean, you have Ragusin in the
Ragusin. We've seen a lot of versions of Ragusin. I mean, he got
right.
He got teched, I think, or something real bad in the Open earlier in the year, right? But Ragusin, I mean, Michigan usually wrestles. Is that home or it's in Iowa City?
Iowa City.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Toss up for sure.
I here's what I think. Tom kind of notoriously gave Peterson a shot and said, go earn it. But his first assignment was Jesse Mendez. Peterson's going to be at home with a shot to win a toss-up match. He's going to be hungry. And you have Dylan Ragusin, who's in his 6th year of college. And frankly, talent-wise and legacy-wise, maybe like in 10 years when
you've been using that. Let me stop you. You've been using that word a lot on the show lately. I'm really getting sick of it.
What word?
Legacy. Oh, this guy's a high school legacy. Like, what's? Come on.
No, I'm not saying that Dylan Ragusin is a legacy guy. I'm saying in 10 years, if you look back and you say, who had the better college career? Who was the better wrestler?
Probably Dylan Ragusin. Pretty easy.
I think you're going to say Dylan Ragusin. But Dylan Ragusin is also banged up, hurt, running on fumes, and I think Cale Peterson wins this match. I shouldn't say wins. I mean, he can certainly win this match.
Could be one big exchange.
Lachlan versus Ryder Block. On paper, this is 15 versus 19.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea how to handicap this match because Ryder sometimes is forceful and sometimes goes and gets a takedown and sometimes he just sits back. What match was it recently that he basically just sat back the whole match? Maybe Styles? Minnesota?
Drew Roberts.
Yes. Yeah. Drew Roberts.
He can't get rode by Lachlan. He can't get rode by Lachlan and can't get cut the corner. So I mean Lachlan, typical. We've been seeing out of older guys. You just haven't seen a lot of productivity out of them.
Okay, so let's for the sake of argument take Lachlan. Let's for the sake of argument at 157 Cam Catrabone against Jordan Williams and Voinovich. Who do they put in the probables for this?
Those two. They put Williams and Voinovich. Yep.
Okay. Here's my point. Everybody saw Catrabone take PJ to the wire. 2 takedowns. He's an up-and-comer. He's hungry. He wrestles offensive. The pick may be Catrabone, but this is where I'm getting at about this Iowa this highway usually gets it done. For Michigan to get this done, you're telling me that you are wholesale in on Ragusan, Lachlan, and Catrabone, all three winning.
I don't think it's like a done deal. Oh my God, put it in the bank, take it to the bank, it's a lock. But Michigan has those three guys ranked higher. I think they're slight favorites, and it wouldn't surprise me if Michigan won all three. I absolutely think Block, Peterson, or Williams could get the win. But like, if you're talking specifically Catrabone Williams, Jordan Williams has lost 3 straight now. I don't know if we're going to see him or Voinovich. And Catrabone with that Duke match looked good. So individually, like, wouldn't surprise me if Michigan doesn't win all 3, but it also wouldn't surprise me if Michigan does. I think those 3 are very capable of winning those 3 matches.
Catrabone's the pick either way right now. I mean, he might not get it done, but he's the pick.
Yeah.
And he's dangerous.
Yeah.
I just think the way I look at it is, can Ragusan beat Peterson? Yes. Could you say he?
I get what you're saying. 3 in a row. 3 in a row on the road. I get it.
3 in a row on the road, and now I will say I would be a little more convicted in that statement if it was Jordan Williams.
I would go with Williams versus Voinovich.
I would too.
You got to go with the postseason guy, and I assume at this point. But, I mean, Jordan Williams does only have 12 matches on the year, which is crazy mid-February.
So then you
Jack
go...
Forrest only has 7, so what's the difference?
1 wrestled first semester, 1 didn't.
Prod you guys a little bit.
So then you go Caliendo, probable bonus. Kennedy, Bo Mantanona. Bo's good, but you take Kennedy.
Cool.
Then you go...
hold on. I probably a good pick, but... Bo's kind of like maybe lost a little bit. I just think he's lost a little bit of his pop. But Kennedy, we haven't seen him really. I mean, he's won some really gritty matches, but he hasn't been getting the legs a lot as much as he has been. You know what I mean?
He really has.
I mean, here's the thing: if he gets to the legs on Bowman and gets lost, that's somewhere you get cradled and get upset too. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
dude, 100%.
So that's a danger. That's a danger match. I would pick Patrick Kennedy all day, but that's a situation where you have to be really careful when you are going to attack, where you're going to attack, because he gets headed inside, he can find himself cradled really quick.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I think it's a really tricky matchup. I think PK is the pick, but
no, you're not wrong.
Bowman's going to need a big move because he's not going to hold up against Kennedy.
Mantanona presents a lot of trickiness, and we saw when, I mean, PK and MJ Gatan, right? PK's the pick. PK's the better wrestler, has been proven before and since. But when PK gets lost a little bit, now he got lost in a lot of funky upper body stuff with MJ. With Bo, I could see PK getting to legs and getting lost in some scrambles.
He got beat in the split in the middle with MJ, and MJ would, what do they call that? Win Dixie, whatever. I'm just saying, PK's the pick. He's been gritting out some matches against Nebraska and last week against Karchla, but he hasn't been getting to the legs as much as usual. But the other thing about Bowman is like I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize, and I'll pay the SEC for this. He's kind of lost that fuck you competitor in him. Like he just doesn't look like. He just doesn't look like the killer. Like, like winning, he has to get back to. Bowman needs a big win to get back on track.
He does, especially after that he got
he was
by
always
Levi
a threat last
week.
year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
84 is gonna be interesting. Is Ferrari in the problems or not?
No, just Gabe.
No.
Damn.
So then you go Caliendo, on paper Kennedy, and then you go 184 Brock Mantanona against Gabe Arnold, and Gabe Arnold is in every match with anybody.
Overtime. Just say it right now. Southern victory.
So here's another one where on paper, Justin, you have Mantanona, but man, the confidence level can't be super high in this match, right? It's another toss up.
It's not that it's not that it's that confident. It's just Brock is. Gabe has continued to struggle with getting to his offense and with any top 10 guys. Brock, when he does lose, he just gives up a takedown and he does nothing. He's got 4 losses on the year, and his point total in those matches 1, 2, 0, and 4. Like when he loses, he loses. He doesn't go to overtime. He doesn't lose close matches. So it's going to be interesting. He's yet to have an overtime match this year. So it will be interesting. Like fellas, you say overtime, like that wouldn't surprise me. But, you know, like I feel like I picked Gabe Arnold so many times this year, and he can't get it done against top 10 guys. Now I'm going to flip and take Brock, and Gabe will probably get it done.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
Gabe absolutely can get it done, but just given that I keep picking him, and he keeps losing to these guys in overtime and stuff, like, I mean, he's right there. He's right there. I mean, the match with Fishback was literally a potentially controversial call. Like, he's right there in it, but he hasn't been able to get it done.
Dirty politics.
Dirty politics.
Dirty politics.
So to me, that's a true toss-up. I don't know who to take there. I kind of lean Gabe. But
be better if Gabe was like started every match down 3-0.
Yeah.
Let's
like
see
urgency wise, right?
197. Now this one really hurts. Iowa having no Dean. It's Hayden Walters is a really solid guy, and he's the pick here. And then 285, which is number 5 versus number 8, and you know it's interesting, fellas. You said Bo Mantanona kind of lost that mean streak. I think similar could be said for Ben, who I think is good enough to beat any of these guys. You know, when you talk about Gattiali or Feldman, I think Ben's right there with all these guys. I think he needs maybe a little confidence, maybe a little kick in the butt, go out and get a takedown. But right now, to me, it hasn't been there, and so I'll go with Tay.
Ben has not gone to anything this year. I mean, he's 5-4 on the year. He's lost to Younger. He lost to Mirasola. He lost to Ferrari. He lost to Feldman. His best win
top 10.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's the problem. Like when he wrestles a top 10 guy, he struggles. And when you have a top 10 guy in Tay, that's where I think he can absolutely beat Tay, but it's like he struggled with those AA caliber guys this year.
You gotta be able. I mean, there's a couple things. You know, the whole thing's been made of like, oh, how big is he? He's undersized. It's like, listen, you weigh 230, whatever you weigh. Like, that's not going to change. So, not saying use it as a crutch. So you're out. I mean, okay, so you can't be undersized and your output is. Listen, he's got to try to win the freaking match. The more historically, the more wrestling, how he beat Feldman their last 2 times, the more wrestling positions he got in, the better for him. But if you don't give yourself any opportunities to score, right? Yes. And then if one thing goes bad, it's like you can't fold chop. I talked a little bit back with him. It's like if you're going to go down, at least go down swinging.
Yeah.
Like try to win. Yeah. I mean, here's the biggest thing. Watch. Try to win the match.
Yeah, that was the odd thing about the Feldman match is that he didn't really put himself in any position. I mean, even take a sloppy shot and get into a scramble. Something.
Yeah.
Right? He just didn't even do it. So the ability is 100% there. I think he just needs a reset, maybe kick in the butt. And ultimately for this duel, you know, you have a clear path to Michigan winning this duel. Maybe even being the favorite is the thing. I'm taking Iowa. I think
33, 41.
I think that between we have toss-up wins going to Ragusan, McNeil, Catrapone, Brock Mantanona, even Tay Gattiali. Give me one or two.
Those aren't really toss-ups on paper, though. Really, though. right? If you went on
Give me one
paper,
of
that sounds
going to
awesome.
Iowa. I got Iowa winning this duel at home.
But hey, but a big bonus point, when could swing the duel too. I mean, I think Mikey at 65, like him against Burden in the Ohio State duel, I think he had like, it was 6-1 or 6-2, 6-1 maybe. And he rode him out for like the last minute of the first period when maybe could have got their takedown, and then it got later in the match and Burden kind of had that feel. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. So ultimately, who do you got winning this duel, Adam?
Hawks always.
Yeah, I think Drake and Kelly will both get.
Hey, listen, you want me to give you something else that's gonna piss people off? I mean, I don't think.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think has Tom ever lost to Kevin Jackson in a duel meet?
I don't think so.
That's not a stat I have handy. I have to do some digging.
No, but last time they wrestled, Iowa got beat by him, right, in Michigan. Real Woods, that was 2 years ago, correct? And Lemley.
Yeah.
Remember they got smoked up there a couple years ago. So, I mean, it just depends what Iowa team we get too.
Yeah, that was another. We're talking about the weird results this year, and Justin and I have said Team A can beat Team B, and Minnesota beat Iowa, but then Rutgers beats Minnesota. Nebraska gets beat by Iowa bad, but Iowa beats Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota beats Iowa, but Nebraska beats Minnesota. The same thing happened that year. The year you're referencing is that Iowa beat Nebraska. Then they went to Michigan, and Michigan put it on them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it set up this Nebraska-Michigan duel. It set up this Nebraska-Michigan duel where it's like, man, Michigan's going to skunk Nebraska. And Nebraska, went crazy. Yeah, Nebraska went crazy. And
Iowa at 5 weeks is so 25 Peterson after. I think if you watch that first exchange with him and Lillidahl in the duel, I think when Luke somersault out of bounds, I think Peterson hit his head, it looked like. Kind of looked ringed. So you got 25, 41, 57, 84, 97. Those have all been who's in, who's out every week to week. The biggest thing, we're coming down to the end of the year is like, who's going to land where in the lineup going into the postseason? There's a lot of limbo in the lineup right now. Like, is Bailey out? Is Kill in? Who's at 57? If Gabe doesn't wrestle 84, you'd think that he wrestles 97 in the postseason at least, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
I mean, wouldn't you do that if you're Tom? I mean, he's not gonna get eligibility back, so he's probably your best guy at 97. But you got the number one guy in the country out of 84. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So 50% of their lineup right now has kind of been in limbo. It's a lot to manage.
It was February 2024. Michigan was coming off a big dual win over Iowa, and Sergio Lemley was really hot, and Michigan was supposed to skunk Nebraska. Nebraska won the first 6. Van D over Ragusin, which was big at the time. Hardy over Lemley, which was interesting at the time. Lovett beat Gomez. P-Rob over Luan. Antrell Taylor over Cam Amin. It was just like, what the hell is happening?
So what are you hearing about Ferrari?
Angelo? I'm not hearing anything. You tell me. That's your country.
I don't hear any. I mean, I don't hear anything. I'm just saying, like, it's that's a if you look at the postseason, that's a big domino for them for team points, right? Or was projected to.
Yeah, I mean, I can only assume, and I just assume that they're kind of nursing him back and to be ready for Big Tens. That could be true. That could be not true. I don't know. But having him here would be a big one.
Because then you both gave it 97.
97, and then use right exactly. And somebody in the chat saying part of Iowa's problem is they don't wrestle a lineup. They wait too long to pick who is wrestling where, and I think that might be a little bit too broad a brush, but it's not 100% wrong. We've seen
Won the weight the last 2 years. 133. That's it.
yeah. Was it 33 or 41? Yeah, 33 maybe.
It was Shriver and Teskey.
Yeah, 2 years in a row though.
Okay.
2 years in a row.
10%.
The last big duel that I had this weekend was, can Virginia Tech make it a thing with Oklahoma State?
Oh yeah. All
right, this is Sunday at 2:00. A good Sunday matinee. Number 3 Oklahoma State against number 7 Virginia Tech. Some personnel questions in here as well. We'll start off at 125. Number 7 Spratley against number 3 Van Treska. A true toss-up kind of match and maybe a one-score match. I'm not off the top of my head.
Van Treska's never beat him.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
But to be
Overtime
fair,
every time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but the last, well, not every time. So at NCAA's last year, it was a tiebreaker match. Spratley lost. Before that, Van Treska got majored by him.
That was at the duel at Stillwater, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in Blacksburg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you picking?
Yeah.
I mean, on paper you got to pick Troy, but just watching, I mean, I probably pick Van Treska at home.
I love the way Troy wrestles, and I understand that.
Well,
he doesn't. I understand that he doesn't win every time out, but he is the one guy that
don't make me look
stupid.
Don't make you look stupid, Rook. Don't make me look stupid on your own show. Keep going.
What?
By the way, where's Cowboy Don? Where's Cowboy Don for this duel?
I don't know. Maybe three's enough.
I didn't finish my sentence.
You're gonna say he can't fight hurt.
He does.
But listen, he got two stall points and escape or whatever against Poulin, right?
Yeah, no, I know.
He needs to be more like he is on that bow and arrow on those deer. He needs to be shooting and scoring more points. Too much coming down to one exchange in the matches for him.
The whole weight, though. You're right, but the whole weight is that way.
The whole country, all of them.
We start off with this, and I don't have an answer.
So who you taking? Who you taking?
I don't have an answer. Who you guys taking?
Hey, the Mr. Politician's here. I don't want to piss anybody off. I love him.
No, this is
taking Ronnie Ramirez.
This is truly a toss-up match. Give me Spratley. Give me Spratley.
What is Folk Style Scrub saying? Troy made the finals, Mr. Bash. You are mistaken. Yeah, he beat. Did I flop it?
Yeah, you said Eddie beat him in overtime.
Sorry.
Troy beat.
Sorry,
Eddie
Mr. Folk Style.
Sorry, it was so switched. So you going with Eddie or Troy?
I'm going with Spratley.
He's going Troy.
Okay.
Who are you?
Seidel's next, right?
I'm torn because Troy did not look the best in that Poulin match, but since national duels, he also hasn't lost. He's been wrestling better. I think his ranking's a little low. Not that it matters, but I feel like this is more a 3 versus 4 match than a 3 versus 7. So I feel like it could go either way. I'll lean the home guy, but Troy Spratley can easily. It's
been Treska's second senior night, right?
Is it?
I mean, probably.
I don't know.
All right, so second. What do you mean a second? He got another one.
What?
Van Treska got another year.
Okay, 33. Seidel, Jackson's in wrestling, right? Or is he in the probables?
Here's what I'm going to say.
Don't do a 20-minute rant about the whole match count again. I've already listened to this rope show.
I'm going to say Jax wrestles and wins.
Wow.
Whoa. Wow.
That's what.
Hey, he's calling it so he can say. This is all just so him to put the brain emoji on Sunday. I told you guys.
No.
Giddy up.
You know what it's about? It's nothing more. It's no inside. It's no gotcha moment. It's simply what I would do. That's what I would do.
I don't think they're going to. If Ronnie wrestles, they have to pull his red shirt. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to
put Richie in there.
I don't think, but let me keep going. I also don't think when Figs is 2-7 on the year, and we haven't seen him since the scuffle, he's magically going to come out to probably get dog walked by Seidel and get tacked. What does putting Figs out there do for anybody?
Yeah, I'd put Sakamoto out there before I'd put Figs.
Yeah, maybe we see Sakamoto again.
I think he's
All right, so I guess you're saying Forrest. I mean, that's a major. If Forrest wrestles, that kind of shuts the door on this being a thing. If this is a thing,
no, it doesn't. No, I disagree with that completely.
All right, let's keep going through it. So
I mean, Seidel and him is not. That's not a dog walk for Jax by any means.
That's true. No, you're right. No, 200 feet of guys can go either way.
Seidel tech the Cuban, and that 4-0 match. I mean, that's what do they call that? MMA math or wrestling math, or what do they say? But these guys had a great match in state finals last year, right, Willie? Yeah. I don't know if you watched that or not. Maybe you saw the box score.
Yeah, they had a couple good matches. I mean, Forrest beat him a couple times. One, the score was sort of lopsided, but it was still a pretty good match. And then at the state tournament, it was a little closer. But I mean, I think Seidel's probably improved since. But I'd still take Jax.
So you're saying the first two weights are like they got to win both of them for it to be a thing, Bash?
I think so. Yeah.
Who's Vega got?
Vega's got Tom
Vega
Crook.
has Crook at 141. You certainly take Vega there.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, the 49 pounder who is it for VTech?
I think Nininger.
Oh, who's the other one that's been wrestling?
Colin Guy.
But I heard he got injured.
There you go.
He did get injured. He lost a 3-2 match last week to somebody that he certainly should have beaten. However, if he's healthy, I think he can certainly beat Swiderski.
100%.
But even totally healthy, it's sort of a toss-up match.
He's been on a roll too before losing last week too. Damn.
Yeah, he has. On paper, it's number 7 versus number 9. We don't know if he's healthy. We don't know if he's wrestling, and if he is wrestling, how healthy is he? So
it sounds like it's going to be Nininger, which is why I lean Swiderski there, which makes it that much harder for VTech.
Ethan Miller.
Do not count out Nininger either. That's going to be a fun match, regardless if it's Guy or Nininger. Nininger's really good.
Yeah, no, he is.
Match, regardless. Robidoux Miller, you're certainly
WrestleStat,
Robidoux,
interestingly, right? Nininger over Swiderski, according to WrestleStat. WrestleStat actually has Nininger 10 and Swiderski 11 in their rankings.
Yeah. They don't know that. They don't know that Swiderski's been training with wolves, and wolves eat dogs, though. That's intangible.
Did you see Swiderski's comments about him and Braden Davis beating the dog piss out of each other or whatever verbiage they used? That was funny.
No, I didn't see it. Robidoux, everybody's going to take Robidoux over Miller. Everybody's going to take D. Lockett over Mac Church. Everybody's going to take Alex Facundo over Sergio Desianti. We don't exactly know what we're getting at 184. Ryder with a shoulder deal from a couple weeks ago.
So who are they playing there? Because VTech can get the last 3, honestly.
They could. If
they put if they put Trevor Dobson, then yeah, you got to go Bullock at 84.
No, it's going to be blowout.
97. Merrill is 7. Sasso 14. And that I think is a winnable match for Tech. Sasso's much more funky and rolly aroundy, and
that benefits Cody the more like re-attack positions you get into, probably.
Yeah. And then Doucette is 7 and Mullen is 17. But, those two are both both very well could be interesting. So,
Oklahoma State's lineup is it's crazy. I think they're the only school right now that has all 10 ranked in the top 10. But 8 out of those 10 are 7 or less. Now, obviously, Jax is one of those numbers, and he should be higher than that. But it's kind of crazy. You figure 8 of your top 10 guys are ranked 7th or lower. I think half of them are 5, then you have like an 8 and a 10 or something.
And the two number twos.
What are they ranked? What are they ranked?
I think 3rd.
See, I mean, this is going to be interesting. It's a tournament time. But...
It could be an interesting duel, but
they're ranked 3rd duel, 5 tournament.
I agree.
That makes more sense.
The Tech's going to have to win the bookends. They're going to have to win at 25 and 33, and they're going to have to steal in the last 3.
Yep.
Or if they get I feel like Oklahoma State will win on bonus if it's 5-5, but depending on who Oklahoma State puts out at 33, if Seidel can get bonus there, if Nininger can beat Swiderski, and then Sassel and Mullen get wins, even if they don't win 84, but they win 25, 33, 97 heavyweight, and Nininger gets the win. But I feel like in those other matches, it's more Oklahoma State's going to get bonus. So if this is 5-5, I feel like it.
They go get bonus.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
I think so.
Little room for error. The Tech needs every win they can. Every win they can.
I missed a little bit, but one question: who'd you guys at 25 and 33 of the Ohio State Penn State meet? Who'd you take?
We took Penn State.
Weird.
Well, let's talk.
Okay, put your name on it.
They're going to draw, right? They're going to draw, right?
No, they'll start at 25.
No, zero chance.
When does Penn State? They're at Penn State. When does Penn State ever not start at 25 at home?
There's zero chance Tom Ryan's agreeing to that.
No, but so what is the rule about drawing and where they start? Both teams have to agree, or they flip a coin and whoever wins gets to choose?
Yes.
I thought the home team had. No,
you got to agree, and there ain't no way Tom Ryan's agreeing to that.
So that's a big thing. So I'm gonna. I think Luke Majors Nick.
Weird. Why are we weird if we pick Luke Lillidahl, but you're not weird for picking a major?
No, but I'm saying by like it's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be a third period takedown like you think. He's either got to pin him, or dude. Have you seen the arsenal of attacks that Lillidahl's been adding? Opposite wrist to a sweep, pulling. It's just. He's kind of turned into a little bit of a prick, and I really like it. He pushed the guy to bounce.
Look
pull on the guy's head a little bit, like the little nice kid from Missouri. I'm like, is that the same kid?
Yeah,
good.
Right?
And then Davino and Marcus is it's really, if you watch the wrestling a lot and watch a little bit of tape of him, Davino does a lot of his attacks from space where he's breaking. He'll either hit a drag, right, or it's off a fake from space, like resetting. And Marcus wants to be latched onto you pretty much the entire match. Probably sudden victory, don't you think?
I think it's an overtime match. I think it's an overtime match.
I really hope not.
I hope they both let it fly.
I think that Davino is wired that he's going to take attacks, and when you take attacks, that's what Marcus wants you to do.
Oh, take attacks. Sorry, I thought you meant like tax. Like tax. Yeah. TX. So here's the deal. There's also a little bit of underlying. Spite maybe. Marcus trained there. There's got to be a little bit of. I know it's not at Ohio State. It's at Penn State, right?
Yeah,
that's a good
point.
Ohio
State, if it was in Ohio, I think maybe a little bit of environment would get to Marcus maybe a little bit different, but.
That's why I think Blaze Davino is an overtime match, and I think the home crowd helps him.
Do you think Kale gave Tom Ryan 100 or 150 tickets for this duel?
Do you think that there's any bitterness, Kale, from Tom's comments about national duels?
Never. Never.
All right.
Did you guys have any other upsets in there or not? No, it's gonna go chalk pretty much, right?
Yeah,
we had Lilladal,
Feldman and
Jesse
over
Mendez.
Buzan,
Feldman
Blaze over
Death
G1,
Punch.
Mendez over Davis by bonus, Van Ness, PJ Duke by bonus, Mesenbrink by bonus, Haynes over Karchla, Welsh over Fishback, Barr over Geog, Feldman over Marisola, 29-7 consensus.
The Bird match, if it's gonna be interesting, I'm gonna give you one little. If Mitchell doesn't come out right away and score, like that Burden's hard to score on, man. He is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be solid.
If you go over top of Mitchell, you're getting taken down every time.
Yeah, I just don't think
Mitchell's going to sing on him.
Oh, dude, I was done a 4-chair turn like the Voice farm, didn't you?
What's that?
It would have been a 3-chair turn at the Voice for sure. Here's the thing I like about him. You know what's great about him, though? He doesn't listen. You know what makes him so good? And it's actually a good lesson for kids that are getting rattled by what the internet thinks. He doesn't give up what anybody thinks. He's just being himself. So when you can do that and be freely and be like, not like, well, I don't really know who I'm going to pick here. And, this guy's, I really love this guy. I really love that guy. You're not like that. You just put yourself out there. Like, he's free, dude. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I never put myself out.
Well, not this.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting, a fascinating dynamic too. I think your point is good. Like, he don't give a shit. That's why he's the dude he is, because he don't give a shit. And the funny thing is that people are ragging on him like, you don't sing in your dorm room? You don't sing in your house? You don't sing in your shower? So what?
You know why people are ragging him? Because they're too big of pussies to put themselves out there about anything in life. So they just sit behind a keyboard, like the guys that read apology letters after they're tough guys,
Well,
come on, that's the epitome of the wrestling world right there. Everybody's got all these takes, got a screen name.
That's different.
A lot of keyboard warriors in this sport.
But Mitchell doesn't, like, he's just comfortable with who he is. So if kids wouldn't have to go like confirmation of like, well, how many people on Instagram said this or whoever said that, that's where they're getting a lot of their feedback on how they're doing. No, dude, it's just different. It's like how many like you probably get the same thing about your Twitter feedback. Am I dealing with Willie or Twitter Willie? They're two different people. You've said that numerous times, haven't you?
Sober Willie and drinking Willie are two different people.
No, Willie goes, one of the best times ever. I go, Willie, what are you saying? He goes, that ain't real. It's Twitter. It's great.
It is Twitter.
All right, Willie, what else this weekend to look out for?
A couple other big solo matchups. Maybe not the duels so much, but the individual matchups. West Virginia ISU has Poulin against Strickenberger and also Zerbin versus Waters. OU and Missouri, Steed versus Schubert. That'll be a big one. Iowa and Purdue. We talked about Iowa, Michigan. Iowa also has Purdue, which could feature
Blaze and Caliendo.
Mikey
and Blaze.
Wisconsin. Michigan also has Wisconsin this week, which means
jump around.
Tay Gadiali and Braxton Amos. So that should be a good one. Other around the country tonight is Oklahoma, Missouri. Friday, we went over several duels on Friday. Penn at Lehigh that night. West Virginia, Iowa State.
Is Stanich wrestling yet or not?
Yes. Saturday, West Virginia, Northern Iowa.
Stanich has looked great since he got back.
He always wins late, though. He always does, like, just enough.
His last couple of matches are major tech pin.
Virginia against whom?
I'm just saying, you're saying he always wins late. He has 1 or 2 decision wins this year. The rest have been bonus.
Okay. Saturday night.
Sorry, the Vince Cornella match was the only one he won late. The rest of them, no. So if you're saying he wins matches late,
okay, watch this. Who did he beat? Anybody else with the pulse?
It doesn't matter. You said he wins all his matches late. He won one match with.
Any match that matters. We've been over this like a gazillion times.
But he's had one close match. You're saying he wins matches late. I'm telling you, no, he doesn't. He's only had one. That win against Cornella, which was an awesome takedown late. Yes, since then, no. I'm not saying he's beat the best caliber of guys.
But he's in the Ivy League. What do you think?
7, 8.
He's on the Penn right now. He's on the CJ Caposto. We'll see this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a good match.
His first match wasn't until January 10th.
Okay, let's not
wrestle. Other than Cornella, he hasn't wrestled.
Okay, we got the point.
a top guy.
Dan Pulses, no.
Sunday, Jackrabbit Open. Maybe Jack's Forest there. Lockhaven Open.
Let's talk about some other topics instead of box score stuff. I'm gonna fall asleep here.
I'm not talking about box score stuff. I'm talking about what's happening. We go over what's happening in college wrestling. Filters. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good Nebraska, point. Indiana. Somebody bringing up the Rocco situation. I assume they mean Rocco wrestling against his former team in Ohio State.
Yes. Kale's comment was great. He's right where he needs to be. Dude.
Cal doesn't mince his words.
Well, sometimes he's innuendo stuff. Like out of stock on the kale cookies, I mean, could help him how to build a demand forecast for those things, but
we got to get some more. We got to get some more Kale's cookies.
Willie, question here. Have you listened to any of those clips that the Twitter page of the state media? Have you seen those clips every week they have have you
Connor
watched
Pierce
that?
doing podcasts? Yeah, it's great.
Don't you find it hilarious that it's the name of it is state media?
I mean, there's just some really good
I watched a little bit
insights that you get a lot more insights. I mean, it's kind of things that you assume, but the kids are more open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Josh Barr thing. Kind of going back to Willie, listen to what your pain is about watching wrestling now, about guys just going and getting it. Him talking about he didn't get a takedown until maybe January, February, and asking Kale, and he goes, any day I go there can shake hands with 5 gold medalists.
He also told that story on Bashmania last year. Go listen to that episode.
Well, I think that was probably flagging my algorithm at the time, but the thing is if you watch the Jesse Mendez thing after the Big Tens, right? The guys that are, in my opinion, just watching from outside, I know it's easy to say, but the guys that are doing really well, I used to always thought it was tongue in cheek for Caleb, oh, we want guys who just really love the wrestle. I'm like, oh, what a bullshit rhetoric. Dude, as simple as that sounds, I really think that that's a huge thing in college right now. They have to like it. Otherwise, there's just guys who are good in high school. It's what can I do bare minimum to get by?
I said since day one. I never thought that was a shtick. I thought that was absolutely correct. That you have to like it. To excel, you have to like it. And the other thing is this way too many people just getting through it.
Look at Aiden Sinclair. He loves wrestling, and a lot of those guys from AWA coming through. But the other thing is kind of who's pushing the room. I think there's some guys that are just making lineups across the board, how they just get in there. But the thing that's bothering me the most is hearing this wear and tear in their body and what it was, pitch count, all this shit. Explain this to me. Here, I just want to understand this. How can you not go have any duration of training or hard, right? And then how the hell do you go to your conference tournament and the national tournament in 12 days or 10 days? How the fuck are you just going to pull a rabbit out of the hat now at the end of the tournament? If you haven't done anything hard.
It's 100% spot on, Adam, with this pitch count bullshit. Because if you're not getting pushed in the room, like you always, I don't know if I'm going to wrestle against Penn State. I don't know if I'm going to wrestle this top 5 guy. It's maybe it's best for me to sit out. Don't want to risk injury. Like, if you're not getting pushed in the room, you're not doing what's preparing you for the end of the year. So it's the same.
Yeah, that's part of it. But the other part is you got to compete.
You drill 4 gazillion high crotches to go out and never attempt a high crotch. What are you doing? You have to be doing in the room what you're going to be doing in the match. And for people to say pitch count, if you're worried about getting burnout in matches, you're worried about that 7 minutes? You think that 7 minutes is going to decrease the likelihood of your success and your performance going forward? What about the 90 minutes every day? So you're not going hard 90 minutes every day? You're not wrestling tough practices?
I don't think so. Like, I just think that there's this mantra right now in the sport that's like, you got to load, what's the term? Load management. Oh, we got to pull back, or you hear like a lot of guys are on their own. It's like, I just don't think, I don't care how good you are coming out of high school. I just don't think unless you have to build a base in college, and like guys that are 34 wrestling in the senior level. Yeah, they're going to probably do 2 days on, 2 days off. They're old, but you got to put the base of your training in at some point, because back-to-back weigh-ins and then 3 weigh-ins in a row, right? You're going to have now 6 matches. So now your body's going to be so beat up that you'd be like in a body bag. It's a neck brace all the way till the national tournament. Like, I just don't, I just think that, and I know it's all college sports. Like, I just don't think I think some of these programs, coaches' philosophy is just bending too much to the kids.
I do too. And
like when you come in, like, okay, like if you look at these, so many of these people in college wrestling, there's not many opens. By the time they're junior, if they're not starting, they got like 7 matches your whole fucking career. Like, you're not wrestling still, right? Like, how can you go to practice? I'm serious. Like,
I know.
What's going on here?
You're not wrong, Felters. You're not wrong.
In a lot of cases, I think the portal kind of made that problem worse, because if you push in on the kid, the first time you push in on a kid, he's threatening to go in the portal.
Well, you can reword that if you want.
That's gross.
Let's redact
All right,
that.
boys.
All right, that's the show. Big one tomorrow night. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Iowa should be good. It's going to be a fun weekend of wrestling. Like it all. Thank you, Felter, for stopping by. We should go live during the Penn State duel.
Why don't all of us go live?
I'm taking down too many notes when I watch that duel.
Felters will be in a tree stand, is what he means.
Let's go live.
Over, dude. I'm retired.
All right, Felters is out. All right, yeah, we should consider going live. Like, the people keep asking for it. We should just fire it up and do a watch along.
One last real weekend. Well, I guess there's one more, but
next weekend's a fun one. Next weekend is basically like cupcake duels and Iowa Oklahoma State. That's the big one next week.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. Go Bills. God bless.